If you don't know what CGI is, or if you want to know more about CGI, be sure to stay with me in this video. Hi guys, welcome to your own channel. In this video, I want to take a look at CGI technology and its history. What is CGI? Computer generated imagery, abbreviated as CGI, creates still or animated visual content with computer software. CGI is also called 3D imaging or 3D rendering. CGI usually refers to the 3D computer graphics used to create characters, scenes, and other special effects in movies, television, and games. This technology is also used in advertising, architecture, engineering, virtual reality, and even art. In traditional photography, film or a digital camera captures an image, whereas computer-generated images are created in computer software. Three-dimensional outputs are often connected with CGI. Still, CGI can also create two-dimensional effects. CGI is created using different methods. Using algorithms can create complex fractal patterns. 2D pixel-based image editors can produce vector shapes. 3D graphics software can generate everything from simple primitive shapes to complex forms created from flat triangles and quadrangles. 3D software can simulate the way light reacts to a surface and creates particle effects. CGI starts to get exciting when it is layered into digital film footage using compositing. This technique is growing more familiar to people, often referred to as a green screen. Now, let's take a look at the history of CGI. The history of CGI goes back to the 1950s when mechanical computers were used to create patterns onto animation cells which were included in feature films. The first film which used CGI was Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo. Alfred Hitchcock might have started early with some 2D trickery. Still, it wasn't until 1972 when Edwin Catmull and Fred Park made a computer-animated short film named A Computer Animated Hand that introduced 3D computer graphics to everyone. This was achieved when Edwin drew 350 triangles and polygons in ink on his hand and then digitized and carefully animated the data in a 3D animation program that Catmull wrote. It took many years for computers to fully harness CGI's power and allow directors to bring their visions to life. Finally, however, by the end of the 70s, computer-generated imagery started rising in a few science fiction movies like The Black Hole and Alien. Around the 1980s, industrial light and magic fell into second gear. It truly changed cinema for good with Rise of Tron in 1982. Due to the advanced complexity of the film, its first-time producer and director, Walt Disney, almost passed up on the chance. The movie didn't break the box office records, but it did win an Academy Award 14 years later. CGI continued to push the boundaries of computer power in the 1980s. For example, The Last Starfighter, The Abyss, and more such films jump in to try their hand at this mesmerizing mix of technology and art. In the 1990s, computers allowed CGI masters to start going big with their ideas and newly found techniques. During this decade, many groundbreaking films were released, like Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Toy Story, Star Wars Special Edition, and The Matrix. In 1995, a movie was wholly directed with CGI for the first time, which gave birth to the most celebrated Toy Story. Later, we have Pixar producing classic CGI movies, Monsters, Inc., and Finding Nemo. The realistic characters of these movies, Woody, Buzz, Sullivan, Mike, Nemo, Gil, and Bloat, circle and keep the audiences entertained throughout. Beyond 2000, CGI accelerated at a never-before rate. The need for more computer power, more reliable software, and new ideas helped many CGI films. One such movie from the canon is The Lord of the Rings. Gollum became the first CGI character to interact with real actors. Filmmakers utilized motion capture technology to make Gollum realistic and lively. This suggests that a live actor played Gollum's role, which matched the CGI Gollum to his movements. Key roles and departments involved in CGI. The creation of CGI involves a very long process that is challenging and very technical. Teams are large and diverse, involving people ranging from hardcore coders to illustrators and non-artists. Everyone plays a crucial role in designing the best visual effects for their client. Some of the most creative and technical functions involved in the creation of CGI are: number 1, art department. The art department translates a director's vision and a script into visual shared with the whole team to understand the creative and technical challenge. Number 2, pre-visualization. Pre-visualization artists create the first 3D representation of the final visual effects shot. After that, they usually make low-quality versions of the action sequences using artwork and basic 3D models. Number 3, asset department. Virtual assets are needed in visual effects to match real-world objects or build new objects that don't exist or are too expensive to create in the real world. Number 4, research and development. Research and development is a technical department. It builds new software and tools to accomplish tasks that are impossible to do or are too time-consuming for artists to complete over and over again manually. Number 5, animation team. In the film, anything that moves needs to be animated. It doesn't matter if it's a small property like a chair, a hero character, or a creature. An animator will probably be behind the controls if there is a movement and a performance. Number 6, match move. Match move is also known as motion tracking. Without it, there would be no chance to incorporate 3D data into live action footage. However, to make digital assets appearing genuine, you need a virtual camera that moves like the camera in the live action footage. This is where match move artists come into action. Number 7, FX simulation. An FX artist will design and create FX animation, procedural simulation, dynamic simulation, and particle and fluid systems. They are responsible for recreating the behavior of real-world elements such as fire, water, cloth, explosions, hair, and many more that most people don't even realize. FX artist is a highly technical yet creative role. Number 8, lighting. The lighting artist is the one who applies all the lighting effects to the digital scene. The artist considers the light sources of the live action plate and uses virtual lighting to mimic the existing illumination within the environment. Number 9, matte paint. A matte painting is an image that employs digital or traditional painting techniques to represent scenes that filmmakers would not deliver in real life. This might be because the landscape doesn't exist in the real world. Number 10, rotoscoping. Rotoscoping is used to build a matte or mask for an object to be extracted out of place on a background that is different, so colors can be changed, or any other set of reasons. And number 11, compositing. Compositing is the act of layering all the elements in a shot. Live action, mattes, 3D lighting, multiple CG passes, animation, and particle effects. Then it blends them all perfectly to create the photorealistic final shot. But where can CGI go wrong? The art of computer graphics is highly technical and requires hundreds, often thousands of highly skilled artists. The problem is that as CGI advances in movies, so do the audience. The audiences become critics and can start picking out the flaws made by the CGI team at any stage. The good news is that studios have realized that a story is king, not the CGI. Computer graphics should be a tool to tell a story, and they should never be the reason for creating a film. Well guys, it's end of the video and thanks for watching. Be sure to watch these videos on the screen.